Well, the more alcohol options, the better, I think. The expedition team likes the strong stuff. What's with that face? Hey. Relax, Gene, relax. No need to get all formal with me. I split from the group to make it back first. Pretend I'm not even here. Besides, I knew you'd want to surprise us, no matter what I said. If I didn't tell you to put on the brakes, I knew you'd go full throttle and start planning the next Ludi Harpastum or Windbloom Festival. You put so much pressure on yourself, diving headfirst into the deep end without thinking about how much is on your plate. I just didn't want you to overwork yourself, that's all. Well, looking out for my fellow knights comes with a job. As for the event, food, drink, and fun in spades without too much pomp and circumstance. Yeah, just like a Mondstadt festival should be. The team will feel at home in no time. I mean it, you know, just trust my judgment. Anyway, you two got a sec? Now that I'm finally back in my old stomping grounds, let me treat you to a meal. I'll even introduce you to the Good Hunter's secret menu. What's wrong? Not hungry? Hang on, you know this is just a pit stop, right? There's not going to be time for me to take over the whole shebang. Oh, you have no idea what this means. I'll be trapped in the office until tomorrow morning. All right. Oh, let's go. Guess I'll see you tomorrow.
Even though I left the Knights, Grandmaster Varka has done a lot for me. He didn't stop me from leaving back then, or throw any administrative roadblocks my way. So I owe him one.
Well, I was sad to see you go, but your mind was made up. And anyhow, you're an adult. As long as you're prepared to follow through on your choices, who am I to stop you? And let me tell you, my rebellious streak was way worse back in the day. Yeah, didn't get much sleep at all. And now my head's killing me. All my terrible memories of being Grand Master came rushing back at once.
We made quick work of our tasks yesterday, much to the Grand Master's great pleasure. So he hit up his friend Charles for a few drinks.
You know how it is. When you're catching up with an old friend, a few drinks turn into a few too many, am I right?
You can start today's story at any time.
That ability is unique to you. And to be honest, a lot of people might not even know you're capable of something like that. So they might get stuck at that point in the story.
The parts you're testing today are more stable, so there shouldn't be too many bugs. Of course, when you access the dicier sections, be sure to keep our vision in mind.
Well, let's get this show on the road. I'm ready to witness our honorary knight's story firsthand.
You're not bad, boy. Against the Fatui, though, you'll need to try harder than that.
You ain't messing around, huh? Take this!
I couldn't keep up with you after all, Grandmaster. It's like you've gotten even stronger since I last saw you.
Expeditions have a way of doing that to people. Ever consider taking your adventurers out on a long trip?
I think I'll pass.
Still, our mission remains the same. We're here to get back the Holy Lyre.
That voice! Is that Mona?
Mona? Oh, you mean Barbarloth's student. Well, I had regular contact with the Hexen Circle, so her name came up now and then. The whole thing about her messing up and being too afraid to go back? Yeah, I know that too. For real? Sorry, but I'm pretty sure all the mages know. Oh, hey! It's been a while. Probably because you had to act like a fatoose. At this point, I could take down those with my eyes closed. Huh. I guess the moon's a big deal in hydromancy. Just spitballing here, but it kind of sounds like your progress would be much faster if you, I don't know, just contacted Barbeloth directly.
Not sound like a good idea.
That checks out.
From what I've heard, the Fatui agent guarding this place was given a thorough beating, and then the lock opened.
True. This isn't what we were told would happen.
I doubt the mages want us to just break it open. It's not their style. Hey! Honorary knight! Look up! Pretty stellar view from up here, and the breeze is nice too. Care to join me? Have a seat. I come bearing drinks. Booze free, of course. You're welcome. Ah, well, that's what being home is all about, right? Letting go, feeling at ease. Figure we both deserve that after all this time. You think so? Glad to hear it. There's no place like home. That's what people say, right? The expedition took me far and wide, and still, little alcohol in my system, it would all come back. The cathedral, the statue, the windmills in the city, the pigeons and dandelions in front of the gate. The further away you get, the more you miss it. I might be biased, but it means a lot that you care about this place. I get that. The people are what make Mondstadt what it is, too. All the carefree kids running around, livening up the place. Which reminds me, I never thanked you for helping Mondstadt out back then. It takes a special person to do what you did. Most people are helpless in the face of abyssal corruption. Considering their target was Dvalin, things could have been bad. I suppose Barbados could have handled it, even though he hadn't been awake for long. But still, I doubt the ending would have turned out quite so perfect. Dvalin is family to him, you know? Having to choose between the dragon's life and Mondstadt's safety, that would have been cruel. Not to mention, the Wild Hunt would have reached our borders sooner or later. We'd have been stretched thin without your help. Maybe you've never put two and two together, but what you did in that land also helped reduce the threat of the Wild Hunt. If Natlan's crisis hadn't been resolved, the two abyssal powers might have joined forces at some point, making our situation even more dire. Ha! Look at us, taking down the Abyss in two separate nations. Doing the Knights of Favonius proud, aren't we? I guess not. In any case, for a knight, honor is something you get to define for yourself, no matter what the outside world thinks. And that's the question, isn't it? Why do we do what we do? But I think it's safe to say you already know the answer.
Ah, so this is where you've been hiding. You know, I don't think this was designed for sitting.
Ha! When did you become such a stickler? Come have a drink with us. There's plenty.
Don't mind if I do. Grape juice? Again?
You know, Charles would never let me hear the end of it if I started drinking without him.
Disappointing, but understandable. Oh, I almost forgot. Since this banquet is also for the actors, I invited Dvalin.
All right. Might hike up the bill a bit, but who cares? Haven't seen him in too long.
Yeah, well, he turned me down. He never did like being the center of attention. The city is a little too small for him to spread his wings. Even if no one is afraid of him, he could still take out a windmill or two. Guess it's better not to risk it.
Huh. Maybe it's time to draft a proposal to build him a landing pad.
The Traveler's right. If this is what makes him comfortable, might as well let him be. In the meantime, I propose a toast to our honorary knight.
To our honorary knight.
I often think about our parting at Windrise, you know. And now, almost in the blink of an eye, the final stop on your journey is just around the corner. Snezhnaya. The Tsaritsa's plans have continued to advance. Now, only the Pyronosis remains free from her grasp.
But if even the captain couldn't take Malwika's gnosis by force, I guess we don't need to be concerned about its safety for now. So that's good news, at least.
You wouldn't be taking a dig at someone else's ability to hold on to their gnosis, now would you, Grandmaster?
Haha, of course not. I'm not one to rub salt in old wounds.
Her harbingers do often tend to take a rather extreme approach. Just look at Child or Senora. But we would be mistaken to ignore the fact that Senora did not win the Geonosis using force.
Right. You told me about the contract Morax signed with her before his death. You're saying she didn't need to resort to violence in Mondstadt either?
That's right. If she was able to provide a reason convincing enough to persuade Morax, she could have persuaded me no problem. I suppose she just didn't think there was a reason to negotiate. I had just woken up, so I must not have seemed like much of a threat. Honestly, the Gnosis was of no use to me. I didn't care who it belonged to or what means were used to take it. I just knew if I fought her in that moment, the cathedral, perhaps even the entire city, might have become collateral damage.
True. I wouldn't put it past Senora to take civilians as hostages either.
In the end, though, it was those same methods that led to her end. After all, her third target, the Raiden Shogun, wasn't a big negotiator back then. Perhaps Senora's success in Mondstadt and Liyue convinced her that she was a match for the Archon of any nation. You did the right thing. It pained me to see Inazuma as it was back then. I'm glad things have changed since. Of course, now the elite force of Harbingers has quite a few missing from its ranks, so I suspect the Tsaritsa no longer has the means to meddle in other nations like she used to. Who knows? Perhaps a chance to formally meet her in Snezhnaya might come sooner than we think.
Some of our knights remain stationed in Notcry. If you need help, just say the word, and we'll be there.
The look in your eyes. It's changed a lot since you first set off from Mondstadt. But my advice remains unchanged. Never forget that the journey itself has meaning, traveler. The birds of Tevat, the songs in the cities, the Tsaritsa, her Fatui and the monsters, they are all part of that journey. Perhaps earth-shaking truths and indescribable trials await you at the end. Just remember, there is more to life than that. All right, that's more than enough acting like a real Archon for one night. And still, not a sip of drink for dear old Venti at a time like this? You're no fun, Varka.
Perfect timing. Let's do this. Looks like we're all back together. Everyone in one piece? Yeah, we should get out of here. No sense wasting our strength. Yeah, it was a kind of prophecy. It felt so real, I doubt I could ever forget it. In the end, you were able to seal Dvalin away, but you were wounded in the process.
What if Dvalin was sealed?
You have to kill Dvalin. I know that sounds intense, but remember, this is a fictional world. The real Dvalin is right as rain and a lot more mellow than this one, that's for sure. We have our solution, so let's hop to it. Should be a piece of cake for a group like this. No time to lose, right? We've got Klee waiting for us after all. I know Dvalin means a lot to you. If this is too hard, you can leave it to us, you know? No need to scar yourself over a game, right? Ha! Guess I'm the newbie, huh? Good thing I'm a quick learner then.
What about you, Traveler? This was your first big fight in Tibet. Were you nervous back then? How about now?
You all right, Barbados? Nice job! One more to go! Thanks, Gene. Might not be a happy ending, but someone's got to strike the final blow.
It's your turn to be the hero.
I'll take knight over hero any day. If I know Alice, the whole bubble could have been blown to bits and Klee still wouldn't have had a single scratch. So, what now? Anyone down for a drink? My treat. Haha, even better. Count me in. Oh, what? The world's not gonna end if you push it off? Come on, we never get a chance like this. On second thought, how about you just join us when you're done with that? What about you, Honorary Knight? Gonna tag along? Okay, all's well that ends well, am I right? To the bar! Ha! So Hertha's even roped our Honorary Knight into helping with this little venture. Now that I'm finally free to relax, it's time to start doing just that. Can't wait to see your skills in action. Give me something that goes well with casual conversation, but still packs a punch. Of course they don't clash. A drink that packs a punch means you have to drink it slowly. And if you want to chat, then it has to go down smooth. So, something with a sweet aftertaste. A conversational connoisseur requires the perfect balance. The most suitable choice on this menu would be the Thorny Lake. It's a drink with a real kick that you can find in almost every bar. It's not enough to know the recipe, though. The key is in the mixing. Some bartenders choose to stick to the tried and tested basics, while others like to add their own personal flair. That's the spirit. Now show me what you've got.
Grandmaster, I hereby present you with this Thorny Lake for your enjoyment and assessment.
Well, the color and aroma are certainly on point, but as for the balance of flavors, I'll just have to taste it and find out. Not bad. You haven't overdone or skimped on any single ingredient, though unfortunately, it's a little too, polite for my tastes. Perhaps I should have said modest. You followed the formula to a T, but if anything, you've played it a little too safe. Were you worried that deviating just a little might disappoint me? Hey, we fought side by side and dealt with things that even gods were loath to meddle with. Ours is a friendship forged in the margins between life and death. That said, if you ask me, you can ditch the nerves and work your mixologist magic. I'm looking for something that shocks the senses. Mull it over, there's no rush. We can chat while you think. Who knows? You might just find some inspiration to mix in with your magic. Ha! I like your style. Speaking of this garden, it brings back memories of something that happened many years ago. When I was young, I liked to find ruined guards to test my fighting skills, both armed and unarmed. Once, I failed to take down a stray missile, and it ended up destroying a watchtower on the city walls. As punishment, I had to run 50 laps around the city, repair the watchtower, and help rebuild the shattered walls in this garden. Indeed, among the misadventures of my youth, this is one of the most memorable ones. Mostly because that day, Crepus saw me covered in dirt. He took 2 bottles of 100-year-old wine and sent D-Luke, who looked even younger than Mika does today, to work out a clever way to get rid of Faru, who was guarding me. It was so hot that day, I could swear I was about to pass out. On a whim, I picked some mint leaves, put them in one of the wine bottles, and the result turned out to be surprisingly tasty. After Crepus tried it too, he was full of praise. He even wrote up an official recipe for my spontaneous creation. His customers loved it. Several summers passed, and Crepus kept writing letters about giving me a share of the profits, as though I could possibly accept. Yes, good old Crepus. Faru retired years ago, but he still gives me a stern stare every time we meet. He's a stubborn one. D-Luke, who replaced him, and then Kaya, who took over later, both performed impeccably. Changing times will always belong to the youth. He should have admitted defeat long ago. When I get the chance, I'll have Kaya show him the amazing progress the cavalry company has made. Well, let me think. I guess you could say it lacks impact. Even when following the same recipe, the techniques used to mix different ingredients can affect the taste. Sometimes, deliberately creating layers between spirits can bring out the different waves as each one hits the taste buds in sequence. In this regard, too, you've taken quite a tentative approach. Why not be a little bolder? Ha ha ha, you catch on quickly. No need to explain further. Pretty awesome, huh? It's like a hammerhead that you can fill with wine when you're not using it to pound in nails. It was a gift. Hoffman came up with the idea, Charles supplied the design, Wagner helped cast it, and about 10 or so knights chipped in to pay for the materials. They've been waiting to have a good drink with me, and this is my crucial weapon to aid me in a fair duel with them all. I'm the Grand Master, after all. I've been drinking a lot longer than them. I've practiced more assiduously, and I have a bit more meat to absorb the blows. So it's only fair to my subordinates that I drink a teensy bit more per round. Wouldn't you agree? Of course, some of them have been training as long as I have, and those ones won't be getting any special treatment. Take Hazelnut 3 and Hazelnut 5, for example. Both were skilled warriors who helped me deal with Eric back in the day. Nowadays, I have them helping Jean with miscellaneous duties. At today's after-work cooldown, they insisted on trying to keep pace. In the end, They lost our game of darts and ended up passed out on the floor. I've already told Jean that I won't be approving their leave request for tomorrow, no matter what. It's a treasured place that the Knights of Favonius have maintained for years, so it makes sense that it's become the go-to location for organizing such things. I heard that while the expedition was underway, you were a great help in giving those left behind the opportunity to put their energy to good use. Sometimes, I look through the photos I've been given from those events, though unfortunately, there aren't enough to include everybody. My conclusion is that Mondstadt needs to do more to popularize the camera. If I were in charge of organizing events, well, I suppose everyone would revolve around fine wine, or at the very least, there would be some sort of tasting involved. For example, we could go all in on this drink stand and open it to the whole city, with every company of the Knights selecting one or more mixologists to compete against each other. It's only a thought. Can't let things get too out of hand. If I were to actually throw a grand banquet, Jean would come after me with her sword drawn. Even Frederica would launch a punitive expedition. While in Nodcry, we had a rule that knights must never get drunk while at their posts. Otherwise, it could lead to dereliction of duty, with serious consequences. Exactly. As expedition members return to their companies, my hope is that this rule will gradually spread to everyone in Mondstadt too. Just like firewater and Smedina, these Nodcry delicacies have made their way into Mondstadt's households and become part of people's daily lives. Young people need to learn restraint. At the end of the day, no one should be biting off more than they can chew. Unless it's someone near my level, they shouldn't even be thinking about enjoying a light buzz when they've still got work to do. Most people would just end up a whole lot drunker than they'd like. You should come practice with me on weekends. Trust me, once I've drunk them under the table, they'll be swearing off wine for a whole week. Huh? Oh, feel free. Whatever you're about to do, I've got a feeling I've hit the jackpot.
Here you go, Grandmaster. A cocktail just for you. I guarantee you won't find this one too polite.
Such a spirited drink. How did you make this? What a burning scent of firewater. Oh, it's as if the very air were about to ignite. This is more like it. Perfection. It's clear that once you let go of your inhibitions, your talents really shine through. That first hint of mint is like a cooling feint that masks the firewater underneath. By the time the sweetness dissipates, the firewater has already slipped in behind your guard, ready to deliver a powerful strike of intense flavor. Oh, it's exactly the impact I was hoping for. That's the most ingenious part. Firewater's greatest flaw is a lack of aftertaste, but the Smetana perfectly maintains the flavor at the peak of its intensity. It's hard to imagine something this good was created by a mixologist who doesn't even drink firewater. I think it has the potential to become a firm favorite in Mondstadt and Nodcry. Iron Wolf. Oh, perfect. It's elegant, yet wild. Only you could come up with such a fitting name. Oh, I have an idea. Why don't we name our Knights of Favonius' drink stand after you? Let's call it the Honorary Knights Cocktail Shack. No time to waste. I'll go have a word with Glenfiddich right away. Whatever the reason, the Honorary Knight is clearly one of the most talented mixologists in Mondstadt. Considering how short a time she's been doing this, I believe that someday she has the potential to give the legendary bartender at the Cat's Tail a run for her money. I hope when we recruit some new bartenders, they'll be able to learn from your incredible skills. Even if they can't quite match your work, if they could be 2/3 as good, that would still make them industry leaders.